Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Joe Martin Show. Today I'm here with the Hernandez brothers. So can you guys give yourself an introduction?
So I guess we'll go down the line.
We'll go down the line, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make it simpler for you guys.
I'm Carlos Hernandez, the saxophone and flute player of the band.
Ricky Hernandez, the guitarist.
I'm Tony Hernandez, the drummer. I'm Miguel Hernandez, and I'm the percussion of this band.
So what I find really exciting about you guys is that you guys have different instruments. You have saxophone, you have flute, guitar. I don't really see that with many bands here in the Valley. Like, how did all of this begin?
Well, our parents are musicians, so we wound up being musicians as well, right?
Yeah.
And Carlos, they're still going to Vanguard Academy, School of Fine Arts, and they're in 4th grade, he picked up the flute.
Yeah.
And then down the line, it was like the same fingering. Similar
to the
similar fingering. And he wound up playing the saxophone, so we bought 2 of them off of Craigslist.
Oh, wow.
And then recently, Carlos was able to get his professional grade, right? But that's how we just kind of got into that and slowly but surely integrating it into what we do.
What about you two over there?
Miguel?
What was the beginning of your musical journey?
My musical journey isn't that interesting, really, if I'm being honest. With 2C for 1, I am the percussion, shaker, and tambourine. So, there isn't much to it, Outside of 2C for 1, I do play like trumpet for band, mariachi, and that is my musical abilities.
And the bass?
Oh yeah, I also play the bass for original along with original music. I mean, covers music.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
He also plays the guitar. So say what you play.
I also play guitar, a little bit of piano, drums I could pull off if I really wanted to.
How did you guys learn so many instruments? Like,
We just have them all there at home.
oh, okay, that's
So
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I picked up the drum set, I was like 8. And then my dad bought me a cajon Christmas. I remember it was Christmas. And he showed me the basics. And from there, he didn't really play drums, like at all. So I just picked it up and I'm self-taught. I never really watched any YouTube videos on it.
Yeah.
So
were you guys like all started with school, or like were you self-taught, or how did that start?
yeah, we were pretty much self-taught.
Yeah, because the thing is, like at school, like our music instructor, he would get us started.
Yeah.
But he was a percussionist. So for me, he didn't play saxophone or flute. So he was like, he just gave me a fingering chart. And so essentially self-taught. But we kind of like started.
That makes sense.
And so, for anyone listening, Vanguard is a very small school. We have one music director.
Yeah.
He's doing a phenomenal job for what it is, and he kicked us in the right direction for being a percussionist.
Yeah.
And we give him a lot of credit to what we do, and that's Miss Olivencia.
Yeah, I had a similar story because I'm from a small town, La Villa. I'm not sure you guys know where it's a very small town, and our band director, he does everything. Like he didn't have like different section leaders or like band leaders for like every section. Like he had to do everything himself, and he started off as a percussionist. But he does like everything. He has to do piano, the brass, every single thing, and it's crazy.
That's Mr.
Out of curiosity, I was looking at some of your Instagram videos. How did the pandemic affect you guys in terms of your music? Because I think you guys had like a lot of free time and.
So yeah, if you look on our Instagram at 2C41, if you go on the little hidden area, you're gonna find a lot of live streams. I think we did it like every Wednesday or every Thursday. So honestly, like being brothers stuck in the same house, COVID didn't really affect us at all, whatsoever. If anything, it encouraged us
to actually practice for once.
Because we're the type of musicians, if you've ever heard us live, where it's like, hey, could you play the song? We hear it for 5 minutes and we play it.
Oh, wow.
But now because of COVID, we kind of sat down and never mind, we didn't practice during COVID either. But no, like it just encouraged us to sit down together and jam out a little more often than what we normally would have.
That's what I mean.
And yeah, I guess jamming out and practicing for us is kind of intertwined.
What about you two?
He's just no comment.
No comment. He's just like
no, it's pretty much the same for all of us. Right?
Yeah,
Like the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
How did you come up with the name for the band? 2C41, right? Or
yes.
Okay. How did that come? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. So our dad, still alive, 25-ish, 30 years ago, had a band, a Christian rock band, specifically at that time 2C41, which is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1.
Oh, okay.
And on Father's Day a few years ago, we decided to say, hey, Dad, we're going to choose that name too. Now, in hindsight, it's 2 parents and of children. It's 4 boys and 1 girl.
Oh.
And now it's not just a Christian rock band. It's all types of music. So when people ask us, what do you play? What would you like us to play? You know, so that's 2C41 in a nutshell, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really curious about that because it's a unique name compared to everybody else. Like, I attribute whatever, like, numbers and letters.
Yeah, and you want to tell them about
like pretty much. Wait, what? What are you asking about?
You said what you're going to say, and then I'll tell you after.
What I was going to say is, like, my dad at the time, he would listen to, like, rock bands, and basically his thought process was, like, AC/DC.
Oh,
so he's like 2C41 to give it, like, that sound, but I mean...
That makes
sense. Yeah, that's where it came from, at least.
And then when we started this specific set, like the flute, shaker, cajon, saxophone, like the acoustic set, we started, like, what, 5 years ago? 6 years ago? This specific one.
Yeah.
And people were asking for information, like, do you have a business card? No, we don't. So we went home, we just wrote something, we sent it in, and they kept the original copy. I thought they were gonna mess around with it, you know, make it look nice, but I just got a crayon, made a little musical staff, like a 3 staff. Normally it's 5, but I did 3. That's an E, then a C as a F note, right, and the H and a O, echo, because we listen to what the music is and we just reproduce it again. We echo it back because we're at that point we're specifically a cover band. So our original name, I guess, was Echo, and then eventually we were like,
that's pretty smart.
So we went with 2C41 at that point.
Yeah.
And then before that, with Dad, we started as a Christian rock band, and that was Tormenta Divina.
Oh, okay.
Tormenta Divina, and then we shifted, not away from that, but we started to do our own thing specifically, and then Echo, and then 2C41, and that's what it is.
It almost became Remedy.
Oh yeah, we also had Remedy at some point in the thought process. Never a physical thing, right? But it was up there. But we wound up with 2C41. Wow.
It's a wild history.
Yep.
Out of curiosity, how did you make the transition between cover band and, like, original music? Because I noticed on your Instagram, not only do you do a bunch of covers, but you also have a bunch of original music. I'm surprised by that because, not to put down any bands from here in the Valley, but, like, not many of them have their own original music. Most of them just do cover songs. Once in a while, you hear some bands who have original music, but you guys have both. How was that? Like, how did that happen?
Carlos, you want to?
Yeah. So pretty much, we've always had our own original music, but we'd mostly just perform with this until, like, pretty recently. We were just like, well, why not just do both?
Well, at Birdie's Bistro.
Yeah. We really used Birdie's Bistro, where we've been performing, like, as a way to, like,
stepping stone.
Yeah, to just like put it out there. We started doing more of it, and we just kind of, like, made 2C41 also our original music, along with the stuff we've been doing for, like, 5 years.
And then how many songs just about do you have finished and unfinished?
Finished and unfinished, like, I don't know, like 40, 50.
Wow. And I have 70. So between the two, that's 110, 40 and 70, pretty much 110.
Do you guys also write music too as well, or no?
I have zero songs.
Make one right now, Tony.
Cajon solo.
Make a song right now.
I have 2 songs.
Yeah,
one good one and one.
I mean, that's where
it's a start.
It's better than Tony.
Yeah.
Do you just not like writing music, or no? I'm talking to you. Like, you don't like writing music? Yeah, you don't like writing music?
No,
or?
I mean, cause like they all play guitar, and I really didn't really pick up the guitar until, like, recent. I think 10th grade, like that summer, I was like, oh, let me learn guitar, and I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah.
Until, like, 2 days ago. So I never really got the time to, like, let me make a few chords.
Not even lyrics or anything like that?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just the drummer.
Yeah, don't put yourself down like that.
We're gonna make you a meme.
I'm just
gonna put a white text over here. Just a drummer.
Like that. And how did you guys get the gig with Birdie Bistro? Because one of my friends, coworkers at Home Depot, he was telling me, like, hey, you gotta check out this band from Birdie Bistro. It's so happened it was you guys, but I wasn't aware of this because I was already following you, but not the whole band. It's like, you should go to this place in McAllen, Birdie Bistro, that they have, like, this live music band, whatever, and it's great. And well, here we are.
Yeah. So they were at school. Carlos was doing something, and I was off from work.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me go figure something out for Birdies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with you.
No, not yet. We're getting there. And I went to Casa de Palmas, which is also on Main Street.
Yeah.
And I was going to go just touch base with the managers because we also perform there rather often. Well, used to, but then COVID. And then I was like, well, I've never been to Birdie Bistro. I'm a little bored, so I want to hear music. You know, so let me go find some live music. So I walk down and I walk into Birdie Bistro, and the cashier's here, and there's a gentleman standing here.
Yeah.
And I walk up and I'm waiting in line, and he says, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Oh, and I was like, do you work here?" Well, lo and behold, it's the owner.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I didn't know that until after. And he says, well, like, could I help you? And I say, well, I'm just looking for live music and whatever. Do you guys have live music? And he said Thursday through Friday and Saturday, 7 to 9. Now it's 7 to 10.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, it's because me and my brothers are also musicians, but like sometimes it's nice to just sit back and appreciate other musicians. Then he said, oh, cool. And then then it became like a business pitch.
Oh.
Well, what do you guys do? Well, we do whatever we do, right? And then well, shook hands, exchanged information. And that day, me and Tony went, and we're driving over here. And we don't claim to be the best musicians, but we like good music.
Yeah.
So we're driving over. Man, it better be good music tonight. Like I'm excited to hear some good music. And we're going by, and I crack the window, and I hear like a few notes. Oh, it's gonna be good. We get out of the car, we come out. It's Mr. Olivencia, our band director.
Oh, of course.
And then from then on, that was almost a year ago now.
Wow.
A year ago now. And so we do now Thursdays and Saturdays, 7 to 10. And since then,
Wow.
it's been a good work relationship with them, and a lot of people like to go out and just enjoy the fine wine and live music.
No, that's great, because like I noticed some bands they struggle when it comes to like finding gigs here in the valley, because there's a lot of venues, but like it so happens that the same bands tend to be booked over and over again, and that doesn't give other bands a certain chance to like
I agree.
perform. You guys have noticed that, or you guys gone through that? Or
I've noticed that recently.
As well.
Because
you don't have to name the names, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble.
No, for
but
sure.
like,
No, and even then, the musicians that they are, I'm personally good relationship with
Yeah.
them. So even if I mention them, and
All
that's
right.
what it is. It's a competitive market. So
Yeah.
even then, that's totally fine. But recently, I've been noticing where I reach out. Oh, we already have music, and it's the same musician for the past 3 months.
yeah,
And I reach out to this organizer, same story, same musician, and well, our time is running low here, you know, and we'll get to that right now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find venues to get these last gigs in, the way that we normally do things, and nobody's saying yes.
yeah.
So now it's kind of like, all right, well, let's turn away from that, and let's focus on recording what we have, because those are the things that last a little longer, I think.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, when it comes to quinceañeras, weddings, and stuff like that, I mean,
You guys also do events?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do
Oh.
private events, like the weddings, quinceañeras. Further than that,
Because
with
I saw
our
you guys
friends.
were doing like the Mother Days event, whatever.
Yes, the serenatas, funerals even, and public events like pop-up shops,
Yeah.
Birdie Bistro, the McAllen food trucks on Fridays. So those private ones, work has always kind of come to us because we're a different type of
Yeah, I
different
mean,
category.
they come to us. They call
Yeah.
us.
And in that sense, like Carlos was saying, they call us. We leave business cards here and there, or they hear that our parents are Rick and Anadelia Hernandez. That means
Oh.
they gotta be good. So we got a little head start in that sense, right?
No, that's good.
That's what really helped us too. But other than that, you know, it's a little bit, a little wall there.
Yeah, there's a struggle.
Yeah.
Were you going to add more to that? Because that's how you kind of like want to.
Oh no, I just agree, but like yeah, pretty much.
You guys have any comments?
No, I don't.
I'm pretty much the one that reaches out and stuff.
Oh, okay.
that's
So
fine.
you're like you're the booker nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I was just curious about that because like some of my friends, like one of them's from Laredo, and he's been trying to like go here in the valley, but then like certain venues, so you say like either they ghost them or they leave them on scene, and it's just like what's going on? Yeah,
Yeah, and we've had it before where we won't mention where, but we had an audition.
yeah,
And we spoke to the gentleman and the owner, and he really loved what we did and expressed it very openly. And we spoke about the payment for each night, for how long, make it a monthly thing, and we're in.
yeah,
Yeah, sure, okay. Let's just see what the vibe is here at the restaurant. And it's a slightly higher end restaurant. And we go, and he's not there. And then we do our music, and then physically ghosted us. And after that,
Wow.
oh well, my mom was there. Oh yes, but you're the one contracting us,
Yeah.
sir. You know, and then he tried to water it down, saying, "Well, you guys have a trumpet, right?" And we're like, "No."
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. And then that was my point of view. Like, where is this coming from? And then, well, if you guys could bring a trumpet and a piano, that would be good. I'm like, well, we're a band of 4.
Yeah.
Well, if you could bring 2, that'd be great. 4, less than the amount that we agreed upon, even if you divided it by 2,
Yeah.
you know. And he was saying like 65 for the entire night.
Wait, I don't
Wait,
remember
65?
this. I don't remember.
Yeah, this was right before COVID.
Oh.
But yeah, you know, we've had those instances where it's like a weird type of ghosting,
Yeah.
where it doesn't end on a bad note, but it's definitely
Yeah.
what the heck just happened.
And I didn't know that. Like, what kind of struggles have you gone through in terms of payment? Because from what I heard from other musicians, that they try to like lowball you guys in terms of like how much they want to pay you.
So for us, it works a little different. We tend to primarily perform at private events.
Okay.
So they're very openly, it's $3.50 an hour.
Then that's
Obviously, it's not all about the money. The older we get, the more it tends to be important, right? He
Yeah.
has his card to do now, mine. He has his stuff, and Miguel también. But obviously, we work with the customer, and if it's a dire need, well, then we understand, and we work differently and whatnot.
Yeah, you're
But for us, it's $3.50, and they hire us for 2 hours. That's the math.
Yeah.
4 hours, that's the math. And so we tend to control our rates.
All right. No, that's a good thing because again, some musicians, like, I know it's not all about the money because there is passion in music, but like at the end of the day, like, you guys, you know, have to help out with paying bills.
Yeah.
Right now, I was looking at the prices of gas. It's already reaching $4.20 a gallon. So
Yeah.
that's not fun.
Yeah.
420.
Yeah.
But and then that's for private events.
Yeah.
Public events like Birdie Bistro, they work with us, we work with them, and we're pretty happy there. You know, and we each walk away with a nice amount, and then we recently got an extra hour, meaning a little more.
It's good.
So we're pretty comfortable there, and hopefully for the foreseeable future
Yeah.
we're there.
No, that's good.
But for other events, city ones, we'll just
Yeah.
mention, oh, we're gonna pay you guys $100 for 2 hours.
So like what,
For 3 hours.
$25 each?
Pretty much.
For
And
2
like,
hours?
the thing is, the area right here, they're not really accustomed to much with musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So recently we were at McAllen and they were telling us like that they're gonna start like registering musicians and like have like a registry or
Uh-huh.
something like that. And I think that is gonna push this area more in that direction where businesses are more appreciative
Yeah.
of what musicians do and therefore pay a little bit more on what the musician is worth, you know. So hopefully it goes in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. Because like a lot of musicians that you've had on your podcast before, and even other ones that you haven't just yet, a lot of them put a lot of time and effort into it.
No, no, they really
like,
do.
like personally, straight up, I don't practice a whole lot, but Carlos does. You know, when he was in 4th grade, he'd get home, eat, practice, go to sleep.
And now it's a lot more. I do like 4 hours a day
4 hours. a day.
or sometimes more, to be honest, with ensembles.
How do you balance your life?
What life? No, I'm kidding. It's difficult, but like I put 1 hour at a time and then I take a break,
Oh.
do what I need to do, and then go back.
Okay, that makes sense. You?
So with that said, real quick,
Oh.
like that said, like we each practice our own amounts, some more than others.
Mm.
And I think that those people that practice more should definitely be recognized for the work that they do. And in the music business, that just happens to be money,
Yeah.
you know? That's how
What about
it
you?
is.
How much do y'all practice?
Yeah. Like how
Oh,
much do you guys
practice?
practice or?
Well, as the drummer, it's pretty much, for me, it's a lot of just hearing
Yeah.
what the guitar is playing, the melody, and adding off of that, I guess, or going with it. But for a good while, like 9th grade, 10th grade, I bought like a practice pad and I'll just do
Yeah.
a lot of rudiments and stuff. And before then, I wouldn't practice too much, and like my cajon skills weren't too good, but
Yeah.
like they would get us by, you know. But now that I did that, I haven't practiced really much ever since, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But
pretty
I
much
do,
from the experience. I mean,
yeah,
once you have the experience, you could just kind of like.
yeah. With like, for me, it's a lot of like muscle memory in my hands, you know.
Yeah.
And now I notice a lot more. I use a lot of more rudiments, so it's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah, it paid
Notch
off.
it up a little more.
Yeah, it
that's
paid off.
interesting.
Miguel?
I don't practice my tambourine I don't practice my shaker.
Yeah.
I don't practice my trumpet. I practice my guitar. I mostly practice my guitar.
Yeah.
Scales now. Now I'm learning scales, but no, I don't really practice anything if I'm being honest.
Take the mic away from me.
But like we're always like on the spot, like
Yeah.
in the moment. And Miguel's gotten pretty good at the shaker. The other day he was
He's doing tricks and
he
around.
was on tempo, just tossing it up and everything
Yeah.
and spinning it.
And then on the tambourine, he does this weird thing. I've never seen anyone do that. Like they like curl it around to hit like double strikes. Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
so
wow.
weird. Like I've never seen that before.
I saw
Yeah,
it
man.
once, and I'm
You're
the one
weird
who
looking.
introduced it to him. There's another duo, Cleo and Evie.
Yeah.
They're more in Westlaco, I believe, and they're with like they they know our parents from a long time, and they've always been helpful to each other. And their son is a percussionist as well, very awesome, and harmonizes too. And I went to one of their performances with Dad, and I saw him do that. Ting, ting. And I went to Miguel. Hey Miguel, why the heck don't you do that? And so if he ever watches this video, thanks man. Got that from you.
That's pretty cool. So like in terms of like inspiration for your sound, like who would you consider like the basis of your sound in terms of like would it be split between everybody because you guys are all different, like listen to different music,
We're all
or
totally different.
We all
Like-
listen to very different music. Yeah.
like so can you go down the line, like what's like your main music?
Well, my main genres
Yeah.
would be death metal, jazz, and classical.
Yeah.
I'm more I like old country, blues rock, you
Yeah.
know, southern.
I listen to more country music and rock mainly.
Rocking
Yeah.
true.
I'm like a mix of like everyone, all three of them. So I
Okay.
listen to all of those. So like I'm like influenced by all of them. Yeah.
That makes sense because I know like you have like a lot of like the like really bluesy type stuff with the saxophone, and it's great.
Yeah,
That's where it comes from.
it's been interesting trying
Yeah.
to. And since we have our different musical tastes, when one person in the middle of a performance comes up and says, "So who inspired you guys?"
Oh,
A lot of people.
Let's set up the lights and let us explain.
Yeah. No, I love it though because like you guys actually have some, because most of the people I haven't like interviewed, they're mostly solo acts because it's kind of hard to get everybody's schedule like for a full band. Like even with you guys, that was a little bit hard. Then I have some other bands who I'm trying to get, but like trying to get everybody's schedule is just hard. So I've been mostly like listening to like rock, pop, and indie musicians from here in the Valley. You guys have a very different sound because not everybody has the saxophone, the trumpet, the box, and all that stuff. Like guys, I'm not just trying to be nice because you guys, I'm talking to you guys, but like you guys do have a unique sound.
Yeah, and that's what we enjoy about it. And I guess that's the reason we've never been too competitive in the business here.
Yeah,
Because like, there's a lot of solo acts out there,
yeah,
and there's some better than others, you know, and that's just the way it is. And they have to compete against themselves.
yeah.
But we're over here
We're
with this,
doing your own thing.
separate
but,
thing
yeah.
over here.
but now there's saxophonists as well, and there's 3 or 4 that I know of that are really good,
Yeah,
but none of them do it the way we do it. None of them have their brothers, and none of them are young.
yeah,
None of them are doing their original music. So with that, we kind of not got complacent, but we know that we have a very special place in the Valley, you know, and that's not to, you know, speak highly of ourselves, but that's just the
truth of the matter.
yeah, it's just what we found. That's where we fit. You
yeah.
know?
Because the only like other saxophonist I ever heard was there's a band in Brownsville called Harley's Comment. I think that's the name.
Yeah.
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 They were the
You
only
posted
one.
it on your Instagram, right?
Yes,
I almost
Yeah.
got lessons from that guy.
Frills.
Yeah.
Oh.
At my
Oh.
university. He's good.
Oh, you
No,
told me.
yeah, he's really
Wait,
good. When
you
I
just told me
heard him,
about
I know. No, yeah, I heard them in at Thankfest, like what, last month.
Uh-huh.
They were.
Yeah,
They're
I
great.
listened to their music. It's pretty nice.
Which musicians from the Valley do you guys really enjoy a lot?
I like Benny Ibarra's band. I don't know what their band is
yeah.
called, but like it's
Benny and
cool.
the
It's like-
Cats.
Yeah.
Benny and the Cats. Yeah, they do like country, also some older rock as well.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I heard them at Teddy's Barbecue in Westlaco. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Right.
great.
And he's our teacher.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
And then further than that, we've known him since we were smaller as well,
Mhm.
through the church aspect
oh, okay.
and performing there too. So we grew up with him as our, what was it, praise band?
Yeah, praise band.
Yeah.
Not instructor, but like supervisor,
Leader.
I guess.
Yeah, or something.
But yeah,
Leader.
Benny Ibarra. And then of course David,
Oh yeah, David.
Luis, Isaiah, my buddy. He doesn't perform that much
Mhm.
or
Anymore.
anymore, but he also knows David and Luis,
Oh, okay.
who was our
They're-
drummer at some point.
Yeah, everybody has like tends to have like their own like cliques or whatever, like where everybody knows each
Yeah.
other. And so far, like I kind of found my own group with you guys, like you guys, David, Rebecca, and Luis and the rest. And I like you guys. You guys have been like pretty. You've been like calm, no, not much drama going on. Because I got stuck with the musicians. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then like, obviously we're family.
Yeah,
Further than that, we're brothers that were locked up
for a long time.
together, and so I mean, we always bump heads. I mean, not
Yeah.
always, but we tend to bump heads here and
What,
there.
what kind of conflict have you guys gone through as a band?
As a band,
Yeah, like in terms of conflicts. I mean, you guys are our brothers at the end of the day, so you guys sometimes butt heads, like you mentioned.
I think a big one right off the bat, I would say, comes from an instance of money, where it's like, but they're calling us over, but it's only $100. Well, I don't want to do it, but I already said yes.
Like pretty much because we're brothers,
Yeah.
we have that tighter connection, which is a good thing on stage, but like off stage it becomes a little bit like too comfortable, and they're just kind of like Miguel, he's just like, I don't want to go,
Yeah.
and it's just a little bit too comfortable, but we sort it out and we end up getting the gig done. And
What did you want to say? No, you look like you want
Oh,
to
no,
say
no,
something.
Miguel
You're
would
looking around.
respond, Miguel, you're like, nah, I don't want any issues. No.
You know, I think that's the main conflict as a band. That's
Yeah.
the main conflict that we've always faced. You know, is it enough to split between the four? Because we're not a solo act where you could get
Yeah,
paid
you-
$100. Boom, you're good.
Yeah.
You get a gig like that every day, you make 500.
Mm-hmm.
But if you split it four
Four
ways,
ways.
that's when we start feeling, is it really worth it to go?
Yeah.
And that's where the love of the music kind of kicks in, and the appreciation for the relationship with that business partner comes in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not enough, you know, being four and living with the things that we have to, the responsibilities that we have. But other than that, as a band, Carlos, Tony, any conflicts?
With the band,
I want a new cajon, but they won't let me buy one.
Yeah.
don't complain to the people.
He has 2 cajones and I have one at home.
I need a mouthpiece for my saxophone.
we have
It's
3
something-
cajones.
Never mind. I'll do it myself.
Miguel,
Tambourine.
a golden
Golden
tambourine.
tambourine. That's what I want.
A golden tambourine.
No, but
Sounds
like,
nice.
that would be the main
Yeah.
thing we face as a band.
Man, yeah, that must be tough because I'm thinking about like the only way for you guys to get like good enough money, like it would have to be like upscale restaurants or like businesses like that. It can't be small businesses because they wouldn't be able to afford all of you guys for a good rate.
And that's where it gets hard, because we want to help those small businesses, because in
Yeah.
a way, we're a small business. That's the way I view our band. We're a business.
Yeah.
And obviously, the point of view doesn't say strictly as we're a business, but we want to go to these small venues, you know, or for example, we're here at the Room Event Center on Main Street. So
Yeah.
thank you for them to hosting us.
Yeah, it's a very nice area. I was looking around like, wow.
Yeah. And it's a very nice place, and it's locally owned, and we helped them out, and now they're helping us out. So we have a very barterable talent.
Yeah, because I was telling him that like most of the interviews I've done, they're either in bedrooms, living rooms, garages. One time I was like, I don't know where else. Like it's always like small rooms. So like this is like a really, really nice area.
It's
Like,
still
it's pretty
the room,
space.
but it's the room now.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
yeah.
Man, it's wild.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot. I have memory loss.
You mentioned that you're gonna say something in a bit. That you're going to announce something or say something.
What's going on here?
Oh, okay. So
Wait,
I don't
you have
know,
to give
what do you
yourself
want
a
me to-
drum roll.
what do you want me to say? Oh yeah.
Tony,
So
the only important, the only
right now,
important,
Tony.
the only
the one
thing in
thing
your
I'm
life.
looking forward to. So in July 5th actually, I'm getting shipped off to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Oh wow.
Enlisted in the army.
Yeah, enlisted in December actually. So I have 1 month of
Freedom.
freedom.
Civilian
No,
hood.
1 month of summer, and then I ship off. So
Wow.
I have like what, 2 months left with these guys.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
about.
How did that like happen? Like, what was the story for you in this?
Well, as a kid, I was like, that's cool. I want to do that. Documentaries. I was a weird kid back then.
Call of Duty.
No, not.
It's just like the game.
No. Well, I always wanted to join as a kid, and then like 8th grade came around, and I was like, hold up, I could do that. I could actually do that. So I just waited until senior year. Since I'm 17, I needed like my mom's consent.
Yeah.
So I actually like requested information from like their website as 16, and they're like, oh, we can't give you stuff because you're 16, you're not 17. So my 17th birthday came, and like right away, a message, hey, this is Sergeant blah blah blah, you know, I heard you're interested. So I kind of just enlisted. I always knew I was gonna end up there, so that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
At least for a few years.
Wow.
And
How do
it's
you, no, go on. I was
gonna say it's a 3-year contract, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He'll be
in
back,
years.
but not for 3 years.
How did that make you guys feel? Like when you made that decision?
Well, let's let Miguel answer first.
The first thing that went through my head was Tuesday for one. It's gonna change a lot in many ways. I will be put into the cajon. I will be the new cajon.
I'm gonna be drafted to the cajon.
They're gonna put me in a box.
I will now be playing that. Not as good. Most definitely not as good.
Yeah.
But I will learn. I have 3 years to impress him. So when he comes back. But that was the first thing that went through my head. Tuesday for one. How it's gonna change.
Yeah.
What about missing me, Meg?
Oh yeah.
Give me that, Meg. Okay, Ricky, you go next.
And then real quick before I continue, to add on to what Miguel said, he's gonna move up to the cajon, and Emily, our little sister, is gonna move up to the shaker tambourine. So we're still gonna be doing these gigs, and we're gonna continue. But it's weird because, and
The dynamic.
like we're all very. Normally, the word synergize and synergistic means that different components work better together. Well, we're the opposite. We work very horribly together, and it's quite wonderful, and in the most comedic way, right?
Yeah.
And we're very dumb together. Well, what were we saying earlier? I don't know. That Miguel said, "Oh, back me up, Miguel." And then he just inside joke, I guess. It happened right before. And so we're very dumb all together, and everybody has their own comedy that we add to the next, and it just adds up to a very
Dumb comedy.
conversation.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one thing that I'm going to miss. And obviously what Miguel said, so it's going to be very different as a band than also as a family, primarily, I think.
Yeah, it's a family. Wow.
Oh, I first had two thoughts. When he said that he enlisted like the globe, the entire Earth is very tense right now in these times. So it's kind of like I was thinking, I was like, they better not send them over there. And I was just like, bro, like really bad timing, Tony. Like
It's okay.
yeah. Well, hopefully it's okay.
No,
And
it seemed like good timing because at the time, like nothing was wrong. He's like, right now is
Right
a peace,
before.
the most peaceful time.
And then
right after signs up.
Because
Set it up.
like you signed up like what, 7 months ago? 6?
December? I don't know. I can't count.
5. And then a month and a half later, it's like, oh,
Nope, there goes.
not peaceful.
Yeah. And my second thought was like cajon wise, like in the band. Like I haven't heard anyone else play cajons like that. Like I've heard people play cajons, but they play it more like as if it's a drum set, or they even bring another pedal. But Tony plays it like in a very specific way that
What do you mean by that?
he has like a Latin sort of groove where you could explain that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
mean,
about
It's a
that.
very
Like-
full sound.
It's a me sound because I didn't really learn from anyone, you know. So like Carlos was saying, it's like a Latin. Get that on my face, boy.
We need to show what the people.
Yeah. So this is my drum. Let me explain it really quick. And then ask me the question again because I forgot. So
Basically, like, what makes your sound different? Because he said that your sound sounds different from other drummers. Because
Other
other
cajon.
other cajon players. Because they play like a drum. I think that's what you said.
yeah, one I would say it's the cajon because there's not a lot of good cajons. Like we would go to Guitar Center, Mel Hermes, and we'll hit it a few times. Be like,
Out of the 21 sounds good.
yeah, we'll be like, this one, let's buy that one. Like that happened. You were with Dad with this one,
Yeah,
right?
and that's why we have 3 cajons, because we hear a really good one, we just have to buy it because they're not off too often.
Yeah.
What makes
So-
a good cajon sound good?
It's just
The word
very
preference.
Yeah, it's
There's
preference.
a certain sound that you're looking for.
You
I
just
don't know
kinda
how to describe
need
it.
to hear it.
Oh,
After you
okay.
sit on so many cajons,
Yeah.
Kind of, no,
Yeah.
okay. So,
What was it gonna do?
You're gonna show 'em-
Oh
show,
shoot.
like, what
Okay,
music,
so this is my cajon. It's like what, 5 years old. Ricky bought it for me. How much was it?
Like 120.
120, but it was on clearance because like they dropped it and it only had like one little dent right here. But I like it. It adds like texture to it. But basically, you got your bass and you got your snare, and that's pretty much it. There's certain spots where you could hit it that adds different pitches, which is pretty cool. You could also hit the side. I like to do that a few times, every now and then. But yeah, it's a simple instrument, and like Carlos was saying, oh, don't drop it. Oh. Buy a new one. Like Carlos was saying, oh, it's like a Latin feel that I give to it, and like I would say, yeah, it's a Latin feel, but like if Latin drum players, cajon players maybe, if they look at me, they're like, I would think like that's not Latin, buddy. So it's like a very me sound, because like I listen to other like congas too and stuff like that, and that's compared to what I do, it's like very mixed.
Different.
Like with Mr. O, when we play, it's like, because he's from Cuba, so he's conga.
Puerto Rico.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry. Puerto Rico. So he's very into like congas and music like that. So when I play in front of him and we have a song like that, it's like, you know, and like he gives me a look. It's like, what are you playing, buddy? So I would say it's a me type of sound.
Because
Maybe like Latin inspired.
Latin inspired.
That's better. Because other cajon players here that I've seen, it's like what Tony showed, the bass and the snare. That's all they play. Boom, cap, boom, cap, or boom, cap, boom, boom. That's all they ever played. That's all I've seen. But Tony makes it sound very full, and use your fingers too, right?
Yeah, I use a few techniques. That
It's
learned.
like maybe like to rephrase what I said earlier, maybe the technical aspect of Latin music, but influenced heavily on like American like modern music, because I've seen him do like fills on it that sounds like he's just on a drum set like that. It sounds like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like that, but like he's doing it
You can do it afterwards.
with his hand. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know.
Me either.
And then one time, I forgot what owner it was. I don't know what the business is, but I think they moved. But the owner said he sent a video to one of his friends, which is a professional Latin percussionist, that he loves it all. The one thing he has to critique you on, tempo.
Oh my gosh. That was, well, how long ago was that?
That was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay,
There was some
him
major
with my
tempo problems.
Got him.
Yeah, we've come a ways. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been complimented by like professional like drum players.
Yeah.
Like at church. I play at church, St. John's. And I was like in what, 9th grade, 10th grade maybe. And my dad's friend saw me play and he was like, I want to play at my church. And like they're more like professional level. And I didn't have practice, you know, I just kind of showed up and I played with them as a youngster, you know, and they really liked it. So I think I'm not beginner. I don't think I'm intermediate, but I'm not professional. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
It is pro.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool instrument and it's not too common, you know, or like people at school, they're like, oh, you're in a band, right? What do you play? The cajon. They're like,
what's that?
yeah, what is that? Like your drawer?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not popular, but it's convenient because
Yeah,
like
it's convenient, but
like
for
imagine
acoustic
taking in
sets.
a drum set right here. Oh no.
Yeah, because the hassle of just moving around a drum set would be too much.
Yeah.
My God, you guys mentioned church a lot. Like, did you guys like start playing music at church, or how was that?
We started there, and then slowly but surely we just kind of dipped more into the private events.
Like more secular, but yeah.
But yeah, that's where we started, and like we mentioned with our dad, he primarily, only does church music.
Yeah.
So we grew up with that, and then Miguel started on the congas. Don't forget that. I'm not gonna let you forget that. And so yeah, that's where we started for 12 years? Wow. 12, right? Just about. And then from there we just developed this and.
Yeah. Oh wow. Did that help you like with your stage fright or no? Because like you guys got to start at a young age, so like you already started at church, and it's not really like a judgmental area. So like compared to like playing like live in restaurants and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I think me and Carlos, we were talking about it, and I think we're performing with someone, and they're like, "Oh, I'm nervous," or "It's my first time," and I was like, after the performance, I don't remember what performance it was, but I just remember having the conversation. And I was talking to Carlos, and we're like, I never had that feeling of stage fright because we started really young and at the church. So
I think
most people aren't.
The time that he was talking about is like a time we performed at the Bird Ogden Arena. Maybe it was that time, right?
Maybe.
And like, I'm pretty sure all four of us are comfortable performing in front of a full arena. Like it doesn't change the way we perform and like present what we do. But like from there we realized like some other people they can't handle that. Like having so many eyes on you and just like doing what you normally do, not getting nervous and stuff.
Like I think we started so young that we don't remember having stage fright. I'm sure that we had it in the moment, or
I don't think so.
I
remember just focusing on
I wasn't
the instrument.
smart enough to think.
No, I mean, like I was with Heather today, and we were driving past Memorial Funeral Home. Yeah. And I was saying, oh, I used to go there all the time because our parents do funerals all the time. So I remember sitting in the front little pew, just watching them do Un Día a la Vez, Pescador, and
all those songs.
so we just kind of, that's the normal.
Those are song.
It's normal to
perform,
and then so we started doing it, and it was normal. So I every now and then I do remember like we didn't practice. I need, you know, and it's not nervousness, but it's like, oh God, you know, but I don't recall ever feeling like
the only times I felt like nervous like that on a stage would be like with classical music, because I'm studying flute at the university here, UTRGV. Yeah. And like, I play Latin stuff, I play jazz, I play saxophone, which affects how I sound on the flute. So whenever I have to perform flute, classical music, I feel like this isn't where I belong kind of thing. And then I get a bit nervous. But whenever I'm with them, whenever we're performing together, I'm just...
and I think you have a right to be nervous. You're being judged by professionals.
They all have like doctor's degrees. I'm just here like...
And they're with like...
I'm self-taught.
Yeah, and you're right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys gone, like, in terms of like audience size, do you guys get more nervous with smaller sizes or like bigger crowds? Because like when I was in marching band, I had no problems playing in front of like giant crowds. It didn't bother me. But like once we would play like what was it, like concert season, when it's only like a couple of people like listening, like that would have freaked me out more than like the giant stadiums.
I think what it is for us is who's in the crowd.
Yep.
Like whenever Mr. Olivencia shows up, like recently, like 2 weeks ago, I was singing. He came, I was like, I blanked out. I stopped singing, and I was like, no, what am I doing? But that happens to me. I don't know if that happens to you.
Yeah, I would say it's the same. Like it depends who's in there. Like Ricky's friend Isaiah, he's a drummer.
Yeah,
and he's better than me at the drum set. So every time he comes in the room or like we're practicing or something, it's like, don't mess up, do something cool. And I end up messing up. But yeah.
Miguel, when do you get nervous, Miguel?
When do I never get nervous.
He's like,
yeah, I'm just freshman. I'm being serious. I don't get nervous.
Yeah, wow. That's more of a personal thing, like like Ricky? The person that you get nervous with.
I agree with that. I mean, we've done very private events where it's a dinner for 3 at Casa de Palmas, and they wanted live music. I felt totally fine. Or let's say a guard rally, 500 people, I feel totally fine. But now it's when specific people are in the crowd, that's when it becomes, and now I know that I am being watched.
Yeah.
You know.
Has that ever happened where like there's a person you like and like they're watching you perform? Has that ever happened or no?
It happened to me recently. We're at the food trucks and I didn't know, I thought Heather was working, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then I saw a Benz and I'm like, that looks like her car. Yeah. And I kept on playing, right? And then I see her walking this, I'm like, you know, and it didn't make me nervous per se, like as a musician. Yeah, it was like, oh, she's here.
What about the first time you guys actually like met? Did you like perform songs for her or like?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. We was at Birdie Bistro. I wrote her a song called Heather Dear. And I told my brothers, here, learn it. Oh, Carlos came up with a really good part for it. So hopefully one day we get to release it because it's really good.
Yeah.
And then they just follow along the way it is. But it's very basic, boom, beam, beam, boom, beam, beam,
Yeah.
which is very different for
What we
my
play.
original music, at least, or all of our
Yeah.
music at least. And let's play it right. She's coming. I'm gonna sing it for her. Let's see what the heck happens. So she gets there, and my good buddy George, my wingman, was there.
Yeah.
And I say, Heather, dear, and then I continue with the song. Well, the Heather,
Yeah.
it's part of the lyrics. And then she didn't catch it the first time. And the second time, I saw her turn to George and say, did he say Heather? And I just see George go like this. And that's where my hand went numb.
Oh my God.
And my lips were like, I can't feel them. And then I don't know what the lyrics say. I'm just going to muscle memory this. And then we survived. And well, then now I'm here.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that I sang her a song.
What about you guys?
Well, with me, like I wrote a song. It's a pretty similar story to Ricky's. Like a few years ago, like three years ago. I don't know where I was, but I was singing one of the first songs I wrote. Here's a little song I wrote.
And I'm not going to sing it note by note. Continue with the story.
Okay, and then I sang it, and then she got there, and I was like, I don't think she's ever heard it,
Yeah.
like me actually singing it. And then I was like, damn, she hasn't. So I just sang it, and then I got nervous, and then I had to like present it, and I was just like,
Oh my God.
yeah, it's kind of a, what's the word? Like it makes you freeze up.
Yeah.
Miguel, come on, Miguel. I know you wrote
I know
a
you have
song.
your stories.
I know she's heard it.
No, I've never sang a song in front of anybody.
No, in front of me. He sang
Oh,
in
in
front of
front
me
of us.
once.
Yeah, very
it hurt
private.
my ear.
He's starting.
So you guys like never like done like proposals using your music? No.
I did
Not
once.
me.
You did once?
Yeah.
Same.
Me, I'm single and I don't have songs, so
You hear that? He's single. And he's going to the military.
I have a stable job. Okay. Where were we?
Where?
You're thinking, I wonder if anyone's going to text me after that.
I know. You never know. You might find someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my story. That's the only time that's happened to me.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, because I always wondered, because like some musicians will they will talk about like how they would learn music. Well, they started learning music because they wanted to impress a girl. It's like the obvious instrument is the guitar. Like that's always the start.
Well, I think we could both agree, it's not to impress a girl. Well, for me at least, it's not to impress her. Like, oh, look at all I could do. No, it's just if I could tell you something, what would I say?
Yeah.
You know, and
He's calling you out.
you know.
Say it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's more of like a more authentic, raw, emotional state that you could just present to someone, and I feel music is just like the perfect way to do that. For us.
Your
at
brother
least.
distracts me.
What'd you say?
Oh no.
We're going to watch the video after, dude.
Oh,
Oh.
you're gone.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just that, and I feel we all relate to that. Not necessarily on a romantic level, but just like
Yeah.
this is what we do, so that's why we do it as well as we do, because we each like feel the connection to music, to each other, and to the band. You know, so
Have you guys had like any kind of awkward moments when you were performing?
No.
when you're playing the cajon?
Oh yeah. So what's a good? So we were playing at our like high school's. What was it? A meeting,
Some of
but
them.
like at a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
And they had us playing, and I'm on the cajon. I use my hands to play.
Both.
The school director comes in, and I'm the first one like in the little corner, and he's like, oh, nice to meet you, or like
Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
basically that. And he goes like that, and I'm like, I'm playing, dude. Like I can't do that, man. But like that stuff is awkward.
Yeah.
and for me as well, like I'm just playing, and then like the people are like, where do we leave the tips and stuff? And I'm just like, I'm playing saxophone.
Yeah.
I'm like pointing this way because he can't. This way. They put it in the saxophone.
Rules.
They put it in the saxophone. I'm
Yeah.
just like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
keep
The case is
keep
right
in
there.
mind the case is right in front. It's always
Yeah.
right.
Like they
in
could
front.
just
With
look
money
down.
in
They'll
it.
see it.
I think
But
Or they give it to
another
me.
funny thing is like when Carlos is in the front, at the food trucks at least we kind of line up with Carlos in the front,
Yeah.
and when they leave a tip, I say or Tony says thank you, every single time, thank you, and they look up at Carlos and say thanks. My man, Carlos is holding a whole note. How do you think he said thank you at the same
Yeah.
time?
Hey, I
But,
can
and it's
do
not awkward. It's just a little funny. Like things that we find repetitious.
Or
amongst the
sometimes like
audience.
we all say thank you at the same time. Like one person leaves a tip, we're all like in unison, thank you.
or no one says thank you
Harmony-
because we think
harmonies.
the next person's gonna say thank you, and it's like
Yeah.
we forgot to say thank you.
And they just walk.
Yeah, we feel bad.
That sounds like fun.
It's pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Oh, Miguel.
Any awkward moments?
Any awkward moments over there?
No awkward ones.
I think one for Miguel
Weird
would be
ones.
like when like we're trying to communicate with Miguel like to make adjustments, but
Yeah.
he can't hear us because he's right in front of the thing and he's like, what, and we're repeating the same thing. He's like, what? Like
it
can't
happens
you
for a
hear Miguel?
good,
What's
a
going
solid
on there?
minute, a solid minute for me to understand on what they're saying, and then to fix
And then he messes up.
it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. A lot of dumb stuff has happened, right?
A lot.
So out of curiosity, are you guys planning to record music? Because a lot of musicians here, like, well, half of them have recorded music, and then like other half of them don't have recorded music, and it kind of gets me mad. Not mad, like mad, but like, I want to like show you guys music off to like other people around. And are you guys planning to like, record music as well or no?
We're actually looking into that, and actually right here in this very spot, we got this guy that has a studio, and he was like, hey, y'all want to record some stuff?
Mhm.
And like literally a few days before that happened,
it was the day of,
we were all
It
talking.
was the day of.
Yeah.
No,
The day
no,
of?
no, no. We went to Kane's before and we were talking about it. Then the next day
Oh,
we
yeah.
performed here.
Yeah, so like we were already planning, like we need to record it before like Tony goes to the army,
Yeah.
and then we got that opportunity with that guy. So
It's amazing how it works out.
But yeah, that's the plan. We do have a few songs on YouTube. It's nothing insane, like. And then it was COVID, so Miguel was smaller, and I think that's very interesting because you could see him like just
trying
very
to like,
awkwardly.
yeah.
So if you go back and watch these videos, they're very awkward videos.
Yeah.
So hopefully with these next ones, they're a little more dynamic, live, I guess, because there we were just kind of sitting
yeah.
down.
Also, I mean now I have the new instruments, so hopefully the quality of sound from my end
Yeah.
won't be the same as before. I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah,
Uh.
we do have a few songs on YouTube. Nothing insane, right? But just so we could refer, like, hey, we have something there if you want to check us out. But we do want to get, in 2 months, 4 CDs.
4 CDs.
4
Oh,
CDs.
wow. Cover music, like cover songs or original music or a mix or.
All those are cover songs that we have down.
Okay.
And then I think that's the important part to do right now because that's what we specialize in. That's 2C41. And that's where it gets a little mixed in my head.
Mhm.
Carlos has his original music and I have mine. Fairly different from each other. And then with the band, live band, they sound pretty drastic too. So we have a 2-hour set. He does the first hour, I have the second hour, but it's
Yeah.
like 2 totally different bands, but we're the same band. Now, when recording music and promoting it, what do we say? Carlos and 2C41, Ricky and 2C41, but it's not Carlos and 2C41 because he is 2C41, but it's not just 2C41.
Mm.
The standard 2C41 is just a
Yeah, it
saxophone.
doesn't sound.
So that's where the marketing of it gets a little confusing. We don't have time to iron all of those things out, so we're just going to focus on what 2C41 is now. And that just happens to be an interchangeable sax, flute, acoustic guitar, cajon, shaker, and tambourine.
What makes you guys different in terms of the music you guys write?
Our taste in the... it seemed easy to say,
Like,
but,
like
huh.
well, maybe you guys might know because you guys like are separate from them. But
Yeah,
like,
that's a good
what
idea.
makes
What
them
do
two
we sound
different in
like?
terms of their music?
I think Ricky's music is. Where am I going with this? I don't know why I opened
I
my
think
mouth.
Ricky has more of a country blues type of feel. Carlos has more of a rock-ish. I
Feel-
think rockish feel
behind
with
it.
like drum set. But with Cajon, it's more like mellow type of
Yeah.
groove. I mean, I think that's the main difference.
Pretty much the same thing he said.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have. No, I don't have another way to like.
yeah, like
explain
I
it.
hear a lot of the country blues rock influence on Ricky's end,
Yeah.
but with my music, like I
Is it-
listen back on it, I don't know exactly what to label it because I wouldn't consider it rock necessarily.
Mhm.
Because when we do it as a full band, it doesn't necessarily sound like rock, but
Yeah, because even like with your clothing style, like yours looks much more darker, more rock, and then he looks more like brownish. You think of country music?
Yeah, he was born in the wrong era.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
And then I
by a
think
few decades.
another thing, like for me at least, I had writer's block for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And then until recently I started writing. And reason being was back then I was like, let me write music for the band.
Yeah.
Then I'll like screw it. I'm in a writer's block. I'm gonna write for me and a cajon. So a lot of my music sounds really pretty good paired with the cajon by itself.
Yeah.
Obviously now with the acoustic bass and then a flute and the sax in the background, then it's nice and full. But that's my goal with it. And Carlos's music sounds really good with a full band. Yeah, so maybe that's another subconscious writing.
I mean, I think so, because when I was writing the songs, I wouldn't necessarily think on how I was gonna perform it.
Yeah.
Because I guess I never like thought I would be performing my original music. But whenever we do play it as a band, it feels more like what I envisioned while writing it. So
just happened to work out that way.
yeah, I guess that's what we'll do this Friday, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Out of curiosity, this is more like more of a like curiosity type thing, but like you guys ever get scared of like the future in terms of like once you guys start heading off to college and everybody starts like going their own way? Because I mean that happened with me and my friends, where we didn't have our own band, like we would play music together and all stuff, but like eventually like once you get older, like college happens, people move to different parts of the world, like Texas and all stuff. Like, you guys ever get that fear, like the good days may eventually be gone?
Not necessarily.
I know it's kind of a sad type of question, but like it's something that like, because you're already moving out, so like that's you, but like the rest of the three of you.
Like for me, like specifically, I don't think I have necessarily a fear of that.
Yeah.
Because either way, we already had all these memories, and like let's say we're older, like we're all like 40. Hopefully, you're still around, like after the wars, Tony. yeah, I'm talking to you. Like let's say like we're all 40 and stuff, and we just like bring our families together, and we could show them what we used to do.
Yeah.
And it's not just in videos. We'd all still be there. And hopefully y'all don't like
just
give
make
up
sure
music.
you don't lose any arms. That's all.
Yeah.
Legs are fine, but the arms.
Stickers.
I'll lose my left leg. That's what I'll give up.
Yeah.
Not my hand.
Yeah, but like
For free. Take it.
not necessarily a fear from my end, but
No, I think it's just a part of life. I mean, everybody grows up and things change, and already Tony's gonna leave. And I don't think that being brothers changes.
Oh no.
And then especially being musicians, you know, so I think it always stays with us. And kind of like dad, well, our dad, he has different brothers and sisters. He was the only one that picked up the guitar and stuck with it, and we all picked up the guitar and stuck with it. So chances are we're each gonna wind up with at least one musician kid, right?
Battle of the bands between us.
Dad is lucky he ended up with all of his kids ending up doing music. Like
Weird, right?
I wish that would happen for me, but I mean I don't think so. Like I can't force someone to.
I would force back. Well,
Shut
very,
up.
very politely and lovingly
subtly
as a
just like
father.
manipulate them into
Hey,
like practicing.
Hey son, I'm gonna deport you. Anyway, touchy subject. But no, I think I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And it's change in a way where we're fearful of it. It's gonna change the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's bound to happen, you know. I mean, we all grow up, we're all gonna go our separate ways, you know. But maybe once we're older, once I'm done with the wars, we'll come back, play a few more gigs.
Once I'm done winning the war.
Single-handedly. Yeah.
I think as brothers, we're like, what am I? Like, wait, no, I know what to say. I don't know
give me
how
the
to
mic.
say. No, wait.
Does he have the worst grades or no?
The lights are making him confused.
No, like, well, like, what's the word? I can't find the word, but
Take
like,
your
come back
time.
together as brothers, you know, that's what I tried to say in past.
He gives me the vibes of like someone like who doesn't do the homework until like the exact day. So like he's just trying to come up with something.
Yes, that is very much.
While we were talking, he could have been thinking. He
Yeah.
could have had it all planned out. Nah, he gets to. I
was
can't find the word.
thinking, but then like right on the spot, I forget everything I just thought. So like, I have a plan, but
But it never goes to plan.
yeah, I forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
My past.
And then I like on Annalie's behalf,
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting for her. She's 10, right? Turning 11.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that comes after 10. But
Yeah.
like us, like we grew up. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we grew up with music, performing with each other, and that's the way we know each other. You
Yeah.
know, we're like we're performing and we make a black joke or a not so good joke or
Get us
all the-
canceled.
eh,
Yeah, you
but to us jokes are joke.
Yeah.
We grew up like that, or just all these random jokes, you know, where some better than others, some worse than others.
I get you. Like it happened. Like don't worry about it. Like,
so we all grew up knowing who we are, knowing the boundaries that we have individually on and off the stage. So now for our little sister, you know, like we already got out of that phase. We're not amateurs anymore. And now she's growing into it, and now she's gonna like discover what we've been going through, I guess, right? So I think that's interesting on her end.
I mean, that's if she wants to actually do it.
She wants to, like, she's interested, but like Dad was saying, like Annalie has expressed like not a fear, but an intimidation that we're so good on stage, and she's small and she hasn't even picked up an instrument yet. How could I play with them if they're out there getting praise for it? You know, so it's an intimidation factor.
The way she's explaining it, that's exactly what I felt. When I would see you guys like perform as Echo, I wasn't a part of it. I would watch on the bleachers, I'd be like, how the heck am I going to join that? What am I going to play? I don't know how to play anything. I'm learning the trumpet. I only know one skill. That ain't much. I was like, what do I do? And then I got, what is it called? Introduced to something called a shaker. And it wasn't much, and I didn't like it. I would prefer to sit down rather than play that in front of everybody. It wasn't embarrassing, but like it was like compared to what they're doing, it's like, what am I doing here with this little egg? But it was an egg at the time. But
how did you get over that fear? Like after like you got comfortable playing with them, like how did you get over that?
I really don't know. I just kept on performing with them, and I guess like in my head I got like better. Like mentally I was actually mentally I was like mentally I was like I'm getting there, but I would look at them and they'd be like, what the heck are you doing? Like tempo. But over time I'm like, look at me now, I'm playing the bass with them, and like I worked my way up. So I do believe that Annalie, our younger sister, can.
So if anyone can help her, it's to be you.
Oh yeah, we went through the same arc.
I bought. Well, not for you anymore. It was originally. I bought him $1,000 acoustic bass, and I said, "This is for you. All you have to do is teach Annalie the shaker and tambourine." He never did. It's mine now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't know that.
I remember him telling you. I would also remind you.
Okay, I do remember.
It's been a year.
I'm getting there.
Been a year.
Getting there. She's hard to
work with. And she actually played her first song with us Saturday, this past Saturday. So slowly but surely she's getting there, and so. I think that's interesting. That's on her point of view. She's not here, but I'd imagine.
On a brighter side of the future, like what do you guys like want to do like down the line, like in terms of your music and your life? Like what do you guys plan to do?
Guys, any plan from that end?
Okay. What do you mean, like after the military, during the military?
Well, I guess for you it would be after the military.
Yeah. I mean, well, I signed for 3 years. If I like it, I'll do another 3 years. If I like it again, I'll do another 3.
Another 3 years.
But I think as of now, I think a 6-year thing would be good. I mean, just 3 years.
Yeah.
3-year contract. But I think after that would be college or.
What do you want to like major for?
I'm not sure. I mean, like all of my thinking has been military. That's where I'm gonna go. You know, but afterwards, I think it would be medical field or like working in the ER, because, you know, like first responders, you know, trauma care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in. I mean, it's not a pretty job, you know.
In the first place. Right?
Yeah, it's not a pretty job. It's not fun to look at, but, you know, I think it's a good place to end up, you know, helping people that actually need it. So I think I'll end up going there or into like gunsmithing. That would be cool.
Oh.
But like, I think that down the line, look, let's say you say 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm 21. I'm 27 by then. Hopefully, that's how
that
much
puts
time
it in
flies.
perspective. Yeah.
So 27, but let's round up to 30. I'm 30. You're what? 27 by then. 28. 22.
That's weird
25.
to think about. Miguel being old. Ooh.
We're gonna be older, and hopefully by then I have a job, you have a job, Tony has this thing going, and now it's not about are they paying enough. Now let's just go out and have a heck of a good time. Yeah. By then we have our investment into an even better saxophone. That's good, but even a better one.
That sounds good.
Or the sound system that we have is enough. But if we could invest to a better one, at that point now we could have fun with it. You know, like we could experiment with all these different technologies, and in 10 years, who knows what new technology would come out.
That's true.
So I'm pretty excited for it. You know, I think it's going to be a good time to hang out. A lot of families just barbecue and drink.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
gonna
much.
barbecue and jam out.
And jam out.
You know, so
Andrew.
yeah, I think
I'm joking.
water.
Mom.
And like for me, I plan to get a doctor's degree in music,
Doctor
performance or
Hernandez.
education.
What made you go that down, that line? Like, actually want to become a doctor in music?
Yeah, it's because so I started on flute 10 years ago in 4th grade, like he was saying.
Mhm.
So 10 years of being self-taught, and like I got like obsessive with practice and getting better and stuff like that. And like now that I'm at this level, I'm like I could do this.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to probably be a professor,
Mhm.
and if not that, a professor
Sorry.
of music.
He's
What did y'all
laughing
do?
at you, Carlos.
No, he's laughing at one of you
A
guys.
flute major.
I missed. What happened?
Because have you ever seen a meme where like there's like like somebody struggling in a plane, and it's like, oh, we need a doctor, we need a doctor, and the only doctor
Oh.
that has was the like the
Go with the
doctor.
flute. I'm a flute professor. What can I do to help?
Yeah, a doctor. Sorry. A doctor in flute.
Dr. Flute. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
he's a doctor.
Yeah, just like either be like a professor at a university or get a degree in music performance, and then just like get like those type of gigs along with these type of gigs. So like I'm all in for
On.
music.
Mhm.
So hopefully y'all have the time because that's gonna be all of my time. That's gonna be my job.
Yeah.
What's your plan with music? bud?
Oh, my plan
Yeah.
with music. I don't have a plan with music. Like, no, with music.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be music.
Oh.
Just like what you plan to do down the
Okay,
line.
no,
Like let's say
I don't have a
5
plan
years.
with. I don't have a plan with my life. I still don't know. I got 3 years to think of it.
He's
though.
a freshman.
I'm good. If
Yeah.
last resort, I'm going to the military, like Tony. But
Yeah.
They can ship you guys together.
yeah, that I am considering that, but like not right now.
Private MIG.
MIGs, private MIGs. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
No, yeah. No, but yeah, that's good to hear at least. Like, don't put too much pressure on yourself like right now because you're still a freshman or anything. But like, do think about it like once you hit like your junior year more or less because time goes really fast. Like you think like it's gonna go really slow, but it goes really fast. But just make sure you also enjoy your time as a high schooler because right now you don't have as much responsibilities compared to like once you hit college and other stuff. So
You have no responsibilities right now, Miguel.
so yeah,
man,
so like make sure you use that time wisely.
And save your money. Use it wisely.
Miguel, listen
Yeah,
to
too.
him.
Because like you're making good money. Look, you're lucky. Look, and this is why I think paying musicians is a good thing as well. Because you could be working a minimum wage job and make as much as you make from doing at Birdies in
Yeah.
a few hours, and you're having fun over here. Now, if you're working a minimum wage job, now you're not concentrating on your schoolwork. Now you have to sleep later. Now you have coworkers that you don't need to deal with. So I think
Yeah.
if we encourage that a little more, we could also like balance it out as a musician, growing musician through high school. Because sometimes I feel like musicians can like solo acts start a little after high school, not
During,
like you 6th grade, you know. But
no, yeah,
for
most
us,
people
like
start after high school. Yeah.
for us, like it made my high school life easier because I was doing performances. I didn't need a job. I barely got my first job last year, and I'm 21.
Mhm.
You know, and so music's been good to us, and being able to focus on things that we rather focus on instead of minimum wage,
Yeah.
whatever's, you know.
Like
McDonald's.
for a minimum wage to amount to what we make through music, like through like promoting ourselves and like getting all these gigs, you'd have to work like 10 hours a day on a minimum wage every day to make the same amount.
Yeah.
No, you'd make less.
Yeah.
You'd make less. You'd need 2 weeks of 10 hours every day to make what we make in 1 week.
No, that's great.
Yeah, so like it really helps. Like the work we put into music is a different kind of work, but like I feel people don't see it
It's
as
a
work.
specialized work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very specific type of work, but
Yeah, because like how you're mentioning, you are a small business at the end of the day. People, other businesses that like hire you guys, like they need to realize not only do you put like time into like practicing your instrument, but like the investments in the instrument themselves, like that's a lot of money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the
Yep.
instruments behind you right now, that combined
cost a lot.
is a hefty amount already.
those two instruments that I play are worth more than my car.
yeah.
Yeah, just putting it that way, just like
And that's just what we brought,
Yeah.
you know.
That's not anything else
So
you guys have. Yeah.
it's the money that we get isn't spent on nothing as well. You know, a good portion of it does go back into what we do. You know, investing into ourselves.
Yeah.
If we could
Because
get a better sound,
Mhm.
we could charge them more too.
Because I remember David talking about that, where certain businesses will only see you as background entertainment or background noise, not necessarily like an actual business. So, yeah,
I agree.
sad. It's unfortunate, but I hope that starts changing, because that was kind of part of the reason why I went to start like the podcast, because for the longest time I was thinking, how can I help? Like, because I seen like musicians struggle, like in terms of like marketing and all that stuff. So like, it became a question of how can I help you guys out, like promote you, whether it be just I went through like so many dumb ideas. Like the first one was like, how about like working with the radio stations to like put you guys on, because I know 94.5, the rock station, whatever, for a while they would like put in local musicians for like
That's cool.
I think Saturday or Sundays, I forgot, but like this was like a long time ago. They stopped that. No other like, there's no other like station that does that, like ports you guys into the radio station and like perform live. So I thought, okay, I can't do that because that's too expensive, first of all, to even get the connections to do that.
Yeah.
So the next best thing was a podcast, where I thought, like, you know what, I already had all of this equipment before, because I would work with one of my friends, and we would have a podcast on a separate one, basically. And it was just a bunch of high school students, like kids, whatever, like saying dumb stuff. Like you guys mentioned, like we would say dumb jokes that could probably get us canceled. Yeah. And so I already had this equipment lying around. And you know what? Let me just use this, what I already have, and just go out. And so the first guy I talked to was a guy named Paulo Honey. That's a stage name.
Yeah,
And basically, you know him, yeah. And basically, he was getting interviewed by KRGV. I followed his Instagram, and I realized, like, hey, there's so many musicians here in the Valley, like there's actual talent here. I wasn't aware of that. And once I found out some guy named Ramus Medium, he does interview musicians, but like he reviews a lot of music from here, like the albums and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, it took me the pandemic and Paulo just to find out there's talent here in the Valley. I can't imagine everybody else, like regular people. And since like for me, like my background is in marketing, I started doing research in terms of like how many followers each musician has for the Valley. The average followers on Instagram is 1,200. If you compare that to the population of the Valley, that's not a lot. Like I'm from a really small town, like our population is almost like 2,000. So it's only like if half of the people in my town followed you guys, and the rest of the Valley didn't even know who you guys were.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy.
That's one way to put it.
How do you guys like put yourself out there in terms of like your marketing? That's what I'm interested in. Like that's my background. Like how do you guys go out there and...
Well, let's start with Miguel. Let's work that way, this way. How do you promote? Do you promote 2C41? And if you do, how? And if you don't, well then just say no.
Well, when I do, I just post it on my story, but that's about it. Like,
No, anything helps, honestly, at this point.
yeah, that's all I do. But that's like once a month.
Me, like Miguel, I do post it for like little flyers that we have, or just take a little video and tag 2C41. Or at school, I talk to my friends about it, like the ones that like music and stuff like that. Also, my teachers, like one of my teachers, like 3-4 weeks ago, he actually came out to watch us play. So mainly in like the school area, 'cause that's where I mainly hang out. But yeah.
For me, it's like I work at Texas Roadhouse. So when people ask, well, what do you do?
Do you do like a QR code there? Like, hey, check me out here.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's because the way I manage my tables is very friendly. You're a family. I'm a part of a family. So we're a family.
Yeah.
So we end up talking and they find out I'm a musician. Oh, that makes sense. You're here.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going to be tonight? Here.
Just write it down on the receipt.
Yeah. And I've had that happen before, or the other way around, where like the past 2 weeks alone, I've had 3 people recognize, sir, aren't you the one in the band? So it works,
Yeah.
And then obviously posting on our 2C41 story, our personal stories, business cards that we've handed out to private event venues, along with the people that hire us, because we go to a quinceañera. Not everybody has the opportunity to come up to us and say, hey,
Yeah.
but they know that you were in charge of the quinceañera. What's the band's name? And we left them 10 cards. So
That's
that way
smart.
it's happened like that too. And then one time during COVID, when the office was like at a peak during COVID,
Yeah.
we posted a cover on COVID. I was trying to find it right now to see exactly how many views we got, but we got up there because I reached out to the office meme pages.
Yeah.
These people had 50,000 followers, 20,000 followers, 10, 75. And then eventually they responded and they were like, yeah, we'll post it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. No, but I need the Instagram version. I'm trying to see insights.
Yeah, 'cause it had thousands of views. I remember seeing it. Yeah, it did pretty well.
I don't know where.
Where? That was it, the one that you clicked on.
Well,
No,
it's
that's
not
not
giving
it.
me the
Statistics.
statistics, but it has 47 saved thingies.
Yeah.
You know, and if every few people do that, you know, you can imagine the bigger number.
Yeah.
But that happened. I was like, oh. And that's because Instagram gave us the money to promote it. Because
Yeah.
people were already saving it. They were responding really well to it. So that was a big one the only one that we had go a little more, not viral, I would say, but recognition
semi-viral,
and
yeah.
promotion to our name.
And like for me, like since I'm studying music for these instruments, like I just kind of, everyone there is really passionate about music.
Mhm.
So we're always like talking about music, even though we're not in class, like, you know, so I bring up what I do. I perform, I use the flute, not in a classical way, more in a contemporary jazz, Latin influenced way. So I just like talk about it more and more, invite people there, talk to my professors about it and let them know like, hey, I'm in this band, we'll be here in case you have some free time and want to check us out.
That's
I'm
good.
pretty much just there like at the university, just letting other musicians know that there's also this side of music, not just classical.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that we've done is we've raffled 3 guitars away and a ukulele. And there it's tag 3 buddies, share and show up.
No, that's great. You guys are doing pretty well then.
We've done that, and then the ukulele as well. That one was a more recent one. We should do it again. Just to invite people out, you know, like, you know, put free entry. Just
Yeah.
come up, tag us in your story, just be at our gig. And the winner was Vanessa.
Was
Do you know that?
No.
He points at me
What was her name?
like I know who he's talking about.
Jimena.
He
Jimena.
was pointing at me like I know who Vanessa is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was one of Vivi's friends. Let's leave it at that.
It was our friend.
What was her name? What was her name? Vivi?
No,
Ay,
it
no.
wasn't
The Vivi's. I'm getting confused. It was either Vanessa or Jimena that won. You're trying to remember the name.
It wasn't Vanessa. Recently.
Anyway, so people go up and they enjoy that stuff, you know, because it's not every day you could just show up to a gig and walk away with the ukulele, you know.
Yeah.
So that's another way that we've kind of just promoted.
You guys
and
have a
invited
good mix
people
of real life and like online stuff in terms of marketing. It's good because most of the people I see like they only promote themselves online. They don't really do nothing like in terms of word of mouth. So like since you guys already do like the private events and like the gigs, you guys are doing pretty well for yourselves.
Yeah, and that the guitars that we did, that was us selling ticket stubs.
Yeah.
So we went to the far food trucks when they had all the Christmas stuff, and it was a Christmas giveaway. And that year, well, in that time, we gained like 100 followers off of that.
Oh. Wow.
And a lot of people were very interested, joining the lives and stuff. And a few of them stuck around. You can't expect everybody to stick,
Yeah.
but quite a bit of them too, you know, and getting out there and whatever. So it's been pretty cool doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was fun.
This one's out of curiosity. Since some of you are still like in high school, have you guys ever gotten like picked on because like, oh, look at this guy, he thinks he's all that because he's in the band, or like your teachers ever like showed you off like, look, he's in the band, why, what are you guys doing? Or
Yeah, I say our band director. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not to like,
yeah,
you know, look at us, but we're like pretty much the best ones there, you know. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
yeah.
Greg.
I mean, but it's a small school, so you know.
yeah,
But our band director, he's like,
He does take a lot of pride in us.
yeah, he takes a lot of pride in us. So like, let's say someone's messing up or they're not playing the song right, like, oh, look at the Hernandez brothers, you know, they had an interview with, what was it? It wasn't Telemundo. What was the other channel? But you know, they were on this
A TV station.
this TV station. They perform here. And why can't you guys do that? Well,
yeah.
you know, it's like, it feels good because other people are feeling bad.
It might sound a little
But-
negative there.
Oh,
It might sound pretty negative there, but I've also heard it in a very positive manner. Like, well, look at them; they're doing that,
yeah.
Yeah.
and they practice.
hmm
And at the end of the day,
Or
that's what
like-
he's trying to get them to do.
Or
practice.
even when you know older ladies walk up to us and they're like, oh, and how old are you? Like, oh, I'm 17 and he's 18, 21. Like, oh, my son's 18 and he's just on his video
Oh,
games and
video
stuff.
games and phones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I am too, man.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And you, Migo?
No, I haven't had any.
They don't like pick on you anything like that. Like he thinks he's all like it's in the band and all that stuff.
No, I haven't heard of that from anyone, except for our band director.
It's never been a negative thing, like to be picked on.
Yeah.
If anything, it's a.
I've had that before.
With who?
Like the other like flute clarinet players. Like
what do they tell you?
when we were like when I was a freshman, our I was gonna say our professor, our director for music, he told us learn these 3 scales. I'm like, okay. So I learned all 24, and I came back and he was like, play this one, and he didn't know, so he was just like kind of testing me, and I played all of them. And then so like all the other people got the impression like, oh, he thinks he's all that. I'm just like, they're just scales.
Yeah,
it's not that difficult. Like just play
there's only
them.
12 notes.
No, there's not.
Dude, it's a job.
I know. And like, so people got that impression of me, even though I've never said anything like, oh, I'm better at music, why don't you play like me? Like, I've never said anything like that. I just play and practice.
It's probably like it comes out of insecurity, because I know how that feels, because I was the person probably judging you, because when I first joined marching band, I took guitar lessons, and I wasn't really good at it, because I was starting off, and there was this guy Manny. He was really good with the guitar, and we were all looking at him like, why is he here? Like, is he just showing off? Because he didn't need practice. He didn't know like how to learn skills or anything like that. So we're like, fuck this guy. Basically, that's how I felt.
Like with me being there, I would hope that they would get inspired and want to practice as much, and therefore making the entire band better.
Well, I agree with that, but like it's not really up to you no more. Like at that point, either they could get inspired by you and take it positively, or they can take it a negative way and be jealous of you and just like hate you for doing that.
Or in a negative way and want to be better than me and end up practicing and end up being a good thing.
I would consider that like a middle ground.
Yeah, that'd be like both in
whole
combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully like people like see that now, that I just want to inspire and let them feel what I'm feeling through music. But like, I mean, I wouldn't know what people think of me. So.
No, it's true. And again, you shouldn't really care about that, because it's up to them, like how they want to feel about you. You can't control that.
I mean, we get hired anyway, so.
Yeah, you guys are doing well for yourselves. So I mean.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like a time limit or no? Like in terms of the podcast, like how, or just being here in this venue? Because I don't know, you guys told you like, hey, get out by this time.
8:25.
Because it's already be 8:30.
Oh yeah, it's almost 8:30.
Hey, as long as I eat afterwards, I'm okay.
You'll be fine.
I'm full.
We'll end it here. So the last question I usually ask my people, have my guests basically, is what was your favorite part of the podcast? So we can go down the line from here.
Let's start from that side. I need to think about
All right.
Miguel's like, I need to think about it too.
Let's start from the middle.
My favorite part of the podcast was probably just talking. You know, it's fun to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, like
the entire podcast.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, we never really had anything like this, other than that one time.
Yeah.
Like,
But even then, it wasn't like that.
yeah, it
It
wasn't
was in
really
Spanish.
It was in Spanish.
that was very
I don't
difficult
speak
to
good in
communicate.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Like I have like English grammar in Spanish, so it's not fun. So that interview wasn't good. But yeah, I like this whole thing actually. Not a certain spot, but
Yeah.
it was a fun experience.
I think it was just seeing that we're all kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
Like
I enjoyed that, guys. You guys have great chemistry together.
Yeah, like we rarely talk, not rarely, but it's not too often that we talk business or goals or this and that. We all just kind of,
Yeah.
all right, let's go perform. But it's kind of cool to see that indirectly, like we're all just on the same page on things. And so that was cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like for me, I guess I don't think any of us necessarily think about these questions. We just kind of like do, or either we just do, or we already know these things subconsciously. So I guess like you having like being asked these questions directly makes us like say these things out loud, makes us aware of these things.
Yeah.
And so that I don't know, it's nice to actually hear what y'all think about these things. Especially Miguel, he never talks.
Yeah, he's over there quiet. He's really quiet.
I think this podcast like really like made me appreciate on like what we have as brothers and our band,
beautiful.
of course. Like there's a lot of things that like it goes back a long time ago, like how like was sort of small. and like it makes you remember like, damn, like we really started from nothing, and now look where we are now, and we still have more to work on. And it's like, I don't know, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I guess that's a good word, right? Appreciative.
Yeah.
Because not everybody, A, has siblings, B, siblings that are musicians. Wait, did I say C?
No. And see musicians that are good musicians.
Yeah.
Siblings, and then siblings,
Or just even the
siblings that are musicians,
Or just even the opportunity to be a musician.
and then more than that, siblings that are musicians that are actually really good.
Yeah.
You know,
Just bashes on other people.
because some people like they're brothers and stuff, but
They're not good.
or even they're not.
Or even
brothers
just
and-
been in a good relationship between each other. Like sometimes
Yeah.
siblings don't talk with each other either.
And I guess we'll add, like, if it wasn't for music, I've thought it like if it wasn't for music, we wouldn't talk that much. You know, and it's not that we hate each other, it's not that this and that, but music has always been like through the hard times as a family behind the scenes, it's always been the one thing that keeps us normal,
Yeah.
because there's been a lot of not normal things happen, I guess, per
Yeah.
se, and we always kind of come back because of music, because we like making music with each other. So appreciative that our dad is a musician, our mom is a musician, and the 2 generations before that. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. And after this, we'll have a short performance by them.